So I want to ask you about crypto licensing. So basically now you've released a very similar consultation paper that was released 2 years ago. So what have you done in the last 2 years?
Lou, Acting First Assistant Secretary, Financial System Division. So since we put out this paper and since the first paper that you referred to in 2022, we have tried to build up our knowledge base, as you'd expect. We've consulted with a number of stakeholders, both here and overseas. We've also spent a lot of our time talking to regulators as well. We've also been able to observe the benefits of a full cycle in the crypto market, and that's been very beneficial, as well as being able to leverage off the work of the Financial Stability Board and IOSCO.
Okay. So in the last 2 years, you've talked to lots of different people.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. But 2 years ago, the Treasury had enough capability to release the Casper's paper on crypto market licensing, and now you've re-released a very similar proposal, albeit under an AFSL approach. Yeah, so the last 2 years, what's been achieved?
I would say that this current proposal paper provides a lot more detail than what was put out in the original Casper paper. It was the feedback that we heard from industry that the original paper, which didn't reference the AFSL regime, was a bit light on detail. And
but it was leveraging the concepts in AFSL around the governance standards and the protections that would apply to crypto service providers, wasn't it?
It didn't have the full suite of AFSL obligations that we are proposing in this paper. This current proposal paper also used a lot more detail around some of the specific activities that weren't covered in the original one around staking, trading, fundraising. So it does advance the work by quite a lot.
Okay, so where is this going? Are we going to see Australians see any protections if they're investing in crypto in this Parliament?
The government is committed to introducing legislation next year.
Introduce legislation next year, 2024?
Yes.
And pass that legislation?
Well, that'll be dependent on the Parliament, won't it?
Okay, so you think it's possible that this should be legislated this Parliament?
Well, I think that's very difficult for officers to answer. They can work on getting the legislation in place, but as you know, Senator Bragg, the Senate has a view about how quickly things move in and out of the Parliament, and we are in the hands of the Senate in particular. Okay,
so basically, if there was another FTX-style collapse, Minister, what would you say to Australians that may lose their crypto investments in the next 18 months?
Well, I would, I'm happy to take advice from others, but I would say that we are moving methodically to work through the detail, which I note was one of the criticisms of your private member's bill, Senator Bragg, was that it didn't have enough detail to answer some of the questions and provide certainty to investors, consumers and industry that they're after. This is a new area. I think we need to take time, consult and ensure the legislation is fit for purpose. Yeah.
Well, the Senate reported over two years ago.
Well, we weren't in government 2 years ago, so, you know, and I can't speak for what we inherited. This isn't my area. But I would say in the time that we've been in government, we have been progressing with this issue. Okay.
But if I thread together the testimony you've just given me as the official and as the Minister, what you're saying is you junked the October 2021 paper because you junked the March 2022 paper because there wasn't enough detail.
I wouldn't say we junked it. We've been building our knowledge base for a number of years. We have also in the interim issued the token mapping paper as well. So it's been a steady build-up of knowledge and skills. And
so what, are you going to regulate every token or are you going to regulate gatekeepers?
The paper is it's a targeted approach, so it is focused on the digital asset platforms and the intermediaries, because that is where most of the risk arises.
Okay. And is the industry saying that the Australian government is moving fast enough on crypto regulation?
I think the industry, and it's still very early days in this current process with the paper, is quite pleased with the pace at which we're going. We have been told to take a measured approach. They don't want rushed. They don't want us to rush the process. They want to take a measured approach.
Okay, so the industry's feedback is that Australia is moving fast on crypto regulation. That's your testimony, is it?
That is not that is not the evidence that was just given.
I'm just trying to get it right for the record.
Don't put words in officers' mouths.
So what's your summation of the industry feedback?
That they appreciate the ability to be able to engage with us and for us to take a measured approach.
Okay, and on pace, are we keeping pace with our competitors in Singapore and other jurisdictions where we're competing for investment?
I think what we're designing is a fit for purpose for our jurisdictions and the kind of activities that we're seeing. So there are various countries at different stages of reform.
I'm not sure what that means.
If it assists, Senator, this is based on the approach that's in Singapore, Canada, the UK and EU.
Yeah, they've already legislated it.
And this is based upon their approach.
And you're saying that it won't be legislated in this parliament?
No, I'm sorry, that's not our evidence.
It's very unlikely that it will be. You know that.
Well, you'll have a hand in that, Senator Bragg. So
I've introduced a bill. You should vote for that bill. It's a very good bill. What does the briefing say? Is it good?
I've been advised that it lacks detail.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
To provide the certainty that consumers, investors and others were after, which is why we're doing the work methodically, as officers have told you tonight, and consultation is open until the 1st of December.
Well, Minister, I'm very pleased that
if you want to
across the bill.
Race it through the Parliament, if you believe the bill that comes forward is suitable and needs to be put in place, then we would very happily work with the opposition to facilitate
Well,
that.
as you know, given you're an expert on that bill, there's a regulation-making power, so it's not designed to have all the detail. So,
Which I think, okay.
Okay, well,
a
look,
broad regulation-making power.
Well, maybe. I just have one last line of questions and I'm done.